Hello there everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day and welcome back to my new boss series where I see if I can beat every boss in RuneScape at least 100 times. So unless you guys have been living under a rock for the last couple of days, surely you would have seen that old school RuneScape finally released their brand new skill, Sailing, which to be fair has actually been a lot of fun. I've been thoroughly enjoying carving up the Barracuda trials with my sick V8 speedboat. Easily a 9 out of 10 skill in my opinion. And also congratulations to Asian Grinder for being the first degenerate gamer to hit 99 sailing. What an absolute accomplishment. That really does deserve a round of applause. I really thought I was in the race with my 66 sailing, but I suppose I'll just have to try next time. But we're not here to talk about sailing. We're here to talk about the brand spanking new Slayer boss that got added in with Dice Sailing update. The Shellbane Griffin, aka Big KFC. So unless you've got the memory of a goldfish, the Shellbane Griffin was added into old school RuneScape literally the other day, the 19th of November 2025. The Shellbane Griffin is combat 235 and its attack styles are both melee and range. Now according to the wiki, the max hit is 22. Now I'm not the biggest old school RuneScape expert here, but I've been hit for way harder than 22, so do not expect this boss to only hit you for 22. It can hit you for way harder, and we'll get into that in a minute. And luckily for all yous and me out there, the Shellbane Griffin is pretty much weak to everything. It is weak to air spells, magic, range, and also stab attack style. So any of you Fang and Rapier enjoyers, this is your time to shine. As for me, I will be using melee to kill the big chicken today. I'm going to be poking it to death with the Fang. That way I can also spec the Big Griffin with my newly acquired Crystal Halberd. Why it took me so long to get this weapon, I will never know, but we have it now and it slaps harder than my dad after a bloody 6-pack. So I went and slayed the new Shellbane Griffin over 500 times so you guys don't have to, just to see if this new Slayer boss is even worth your time. I mean, it is still a low level boss, Slayer boss, so maybe don't expect anything too crazy, but I will be going over the fight itself, all the drops, what it's like to grind, and all that good shit. So the Shellbane Griffin fight itself is actually pretty cool. I like that we have to wear this awesome turtle shell to protect us from pretty much all of the Griffin's melee damage, but I guess that does mean RIP the big cheesecake. The big spicy Griffin comes with 2 special attacks, the Huck Tour Spitball attack and also the Wind Tornado attack. Both are easily avoided by just stepping one tile out of the way. The mechanics for this fight are very simple, but there's enough mechanics in this fight to help keep you engaged so you don't just want to blow your brains out from friggin' boredom. But a big pro tip, do not fall asleep while doing this boss, because if you stack the Wind Tornadoes on top of each other instead of moving, you can take up to 70 plus damage when the Wind Tornadoes eventually disappear. So just don't fully stack all of the Wind Tornadoes on top of each other unless you want to have a bad time. The Griffin will also knock you back if you're not heavy enough, so make sure you're over 45 kilos according to the wiki. Or you could be a Giga Chad like me and just face tank all the knockback attacks because the Shellbane Griffin's wiki page didn't exist yet. Haha! I think in total this grind took me like 15 hours or so to get all 500 kills, and I also wasted over 3k Slayer points in the process trying to get those Griffin tasks. Whoops. I was averaging about 40 seconds per kill as well, so you are able to blast through a lot of Shellbane Griffins pretty quickly, which is going to be music to the ears of all those pet hunters out there, and you can probably smoke the Big Griffin even quicker than me with a more optimal setup. Now, unfortunately, the Shellbane Griffin doesn't have any combat achievements just yet, but I'm sure they will be added in the near future. Now let's talk about some of the drops you can get from the Shellbane Griffin. Unfortunately, your GP per hour is being carried heavily by the fact that cannonballs are kind of a little overpriced now. So this number and all this loot I'm about to show you is probably subject to change. I don't know if it will stay the same, if it will go down, if it will go up. I don't know, but just expect these numbers to fluctuate a fair bit since this boss literally just came out. Here is my loot from killing over 500 Shellbane Griffin. We did manage to walk away with nearly 8 mil, which is actually really not that great, is it, for 500 kills? Considering this is a level 51 Slayer boss, I feel like most low to mid-level players are going to be frothing over the fact that you can make about 1 to 2 mil off one single Griffin task. Plus you got that new mid-level stab weapon that you can chase for, the Bell's Folly, I think that's how you say that. I don't actually know if this weapon's good at all, but I'm sure it probably made someone's day seeing this being added into the game. I also managed to get the Jar of Feathers at 88 KC. Couldn't have asked for a bigger spoon, but unfortunately the jar, just like the combat achievements, don't actually have a use yet. So my amazing Griffin display will probably just have to wait a little while longer. So unfortunately, I feel for high level players, the only reason you're going to be coming to this boss is to maybe hunt for that pet like myself. But if you are a low to mid-level player, which is who I think this boss was made for, I really think it is a great addition into old school RuneScape, and the loot isn't complete dog shit. For now. And last but not least, I do want to kind of give Jagex a little pat on the back, because farming this boss, grinding this boss could not be easier. So there's a fairy ring close by, there's bank and utilities really close by if you have the agility shortcut to access them faster, and there's also a prayer altar literally down the road, not that we can access it right now because it is locked behind a quest that hasn't even released yet. But when this is all open, when this is all unlocked, you're going to have a prayer altar, the fairy ring close by, and also the bank and utilities fairly close by as well. So you're going to have everything in proximity of one another, which is going to make farming this boss an absolute friggin' breeze, baby. So another W for the devs, because the Great Conch Island is really, really well designed, and I'm assuming it's every Iron Man's wet dream to have every area designed exactly like this. Well, that's basically it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. I had an absolute blast sending the Shellbane Griffin straight to the friggin' Shadow Realm. If I were to rate my Shellbane Griffin experience, I'd say it's about a 7 to 8 out of 10 boss. It's pretty decent, but remember it is a low-level Slayer boss, so don't expect anything fucking crazy. And to anyone that actually watches these videos, I appreciate the absolute shit out of you. Thank you all so much for all the love and support. And as always, guys, take care. Peace out.